Coal mining as efforts intensify to crack down on menace.
Bank of Ghana to inject over $1 billion, $1 billion this October to stabilize the city before Christmas season.
Also coming up tonight, two senior producers at Media General, Joseph Akable and Sixtus Don Ulo, called to the Ghana Bar. Meanwhile, Acting Chief Justice wants new lawyers to reject growing trend of using legal profession purely for monetary benefit.
And later in business, Finance Minister credits fiscal discipline for Ghana's successful IMF staff level agreement expected to pave way for additional $385 million disbursement.
And in international news, Burkina Faso's military government refused to take in deportees from the U.S. as Washington suspended issuing visas in the country. We have the details of these and many more stories, including sports and entertainment, coming up over the next 1 hour. Stay with us for the details.
Let's start from issues regarding finance and the economy, because the Bank of Ghana says it will inject over $1 billion into the Ghanaian economy this October to help stabilize the city ahead of the Christmas season. The move is part of efforts to ensure there are enough dollars in circulation to support imports and keep prices from rising too sharply. There is more in this report.
The intervention comes at a time when the cedi is trading at 12 cedis 15 pesos to the dollar, after strengthening earlier this year to nearly 10 cedis 30 pesos in May. According to the Bank of Ghana, gross international reserves stand at $10.7 billion, providing about 4.5 months of import cover. Here's how it works. When the Bank of Ghana injects dollars into the market, the supply of foreign currency increases. This helps the cedi to hold its value, making it cheaper for importers to buy goods and pay for fuel. As import costs ease, traders face less pressure to raise prices, and consumers may see slower price increases on food, transport, and other essentials. The central bank hopes that the move will help reduce inflation, which still hovers around 9.4%, and bring stability to the exchange rate ahead of the Christmas trading season. Economists, however, caution that the effect may be temporary unless Ghana boosts its export earnings, takes steps to reduce import dependence by producing some goods locally and maintaining fiscal discipline. But for now, the Bank of Ghana is betting that a timely injection of over $1 billion will keep the cedi steady and make your Christmas shopping a little more affordable.
Right, so clearly it looks as though government or the Bank of Ghana is thinking about the season we are about to enter into, which is the Christmas season, where a lot of import is done. Many of you go out to try and purchase your Christmas items, which more than half of it is imported. And so when there is enough currency or forex in the system, it helps stabilize the city. But what does that mean for the everyday Ghanaian? Let's engage the thoughts of an economist, Dr. Peter Tekpe. He's joined us for a quick chat on this. Doc, good evening. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, and thank you for having me as well.
What are your thoughts on the Bank of Ghana's decision to inject actually $1.15 billion into the economy? Is it a necessary move or a short-term fix, considering the fact that the IMF is also warning us about, the support we are giving to the local currency, not allowing it to find its own strength?
Well, this is what I'll call a strategic injection, where Bank of Ghana wants to manage, one, the FX rate in terms of affecting fuel prices, and then also to help reduce, cost of import with regards to the Christmas season. You know, there is a threat of fuel prices to go up, and transport operators are also threatening to increase transport fares. And so one of the strategies probably with Bank of Ghana is that let's keep the exchange rate at a certain level so that the threat by the transporters will not be, to increase, transport fares, will will not materialize because of the exchange rate. And also, with regards to getting people to buy goods for Christmas season, they want to keep the rate at a certain level. So this is not something that is going to be for the long term, but just for this immediate term to help, manage the Christmas festivities and imports.
Talk to us about the sustainability of this intervention. Is it something you would expect government to do as and when, or this should be like more or less a stopgap measure just because of the season we are in, considering also that inflation is still quite high?
I see it as a stopgap measure because remember around April, May, when the rate was appreciating quickly, everybody was concerned about the sustainability. The reason why we couldn't sustain it and started going up in August was because people have started placing orders for Christmas. And between August and September, those who place orders for Christmas have already started. Because if you don't place the order early, it will come after Christmas. And so by now, the demand is also going down gradually. And so, for instance, yesterday, Bank of Ghana injected, I think, about 150 billion, but market absorbed only about 83 billion. That tells you that demand is going down. And it's because Christmas demand, Christmas imports have already, happened within August and September. So what is happening is just a stopgap because demand for FX will continue to be there in as much as our economy is import driven. And so that one, demand for FX will be constant because our economy is import driven. And so this is just a stopgap.
Okay, Doc, thank you. We'll definitely be engaging you as the days go by. Dr. Peter Tekpe is an economist.
Right, Martin, moving away from the issues of finance, child exploitation continues to rob many children in Ghana's fishing communities of their right to education. In Avokope, a semi-island community in the Kwewa-Fram Plains North District, some parents are forcing their children into hazardous fishing work instead of sending them to school. Here's a report by Stanley Nibleo.
It's a rainy day at Avokope. Children who left for school are back home early, heavily soaked by the downpour. Their classrooms are weak, and the only teacher in the school did not want to take chances, forcing him to close the school. The zeal to impact their community through education motivates some parents to enroll their wards. However, not all parents in Avokope believe in education. Others tend to exploit their children for labor. Amezukpe Bete, a father of 5, is one of such people. He has withdrawn 2 of his male children from school and now uses them for his fishing expeditions. The elder son was in class 3, while the younger one was in kindergarten 1 when they were withdrawn.
One kg. You pack palong, I be a tromale, Coli, Tawak Palong, Yami, and Dewai school.
Immediately after the rain subsided, he assembled his sons and prepared them for the day's fishing expedition. Amezukpe told the news team that he is aware that using his children for fishing on the River Fram is an offense, but insists they must help him to provide for the family.
And yes, Gaki, Guillemille, in a mau, Guillemille, Godo Nigeria, Akbalong, I think I learned the father.
Before their departure, I observed the unusual. His elder son had developed a defect in the right eye, causing it to bulge out. Further interrogation revealed that when fishing is not in session, the boy works as a cowboy, shepherding cattle for grazing. During one of such routines, the boy was kicked in the eye by a cow when he attempted to play with it on the field. Amezukpe corroborated the incident.
Amakama, and nearly a cow that hit him.
The current predicament faced by the boy further exposes him to infections, especially when he had to dive into the river to untangle fishing nets. In Avokope, young boys are not the only ones exploited in the inland fishing subsector. Some girls are also forced by their parents to engage in fishing activities. Amezukpe's neighbor is also seen on the river with her daughter, both engaging in fishing. According to residents, the girl helps her father to pull set nets into the canoe to harvest the catch made. However, the Afram Plains North District Education Authority says the situation is being managed.
You cannot also deny the children from helping their parents with regards to fishing. So what we have been doing is that in such communities or in such communities where schools are located, we do what we call adjusted timetable. So instead of starting classes at 8 o'clock, we adjust the time to 9 o'clock. Then we also extend the closing hours by 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. But solving a problem, you are creating another problem, because maintaining the children in the classroom for a long time, the children too will be hungry. So by the time you realize, instead of 1 hour for them to stay, then you see them going out. So that has been a challenge, but we are managing the situation.
According to him, social welfare intervenes in areas where child exploitation cases are prevalent.
Sometimes some of these situations have been coming to our table, but we have been collaborating with social welfare. And the social welfare, they have what they call it child protection. Actually, I'm not so much involved in that particular activities. So they have been helping in such direction where the child exploitation is very high. They move in there, try to give them some bits of sensitization, try to see how best they'll be able to do to calm the situation down.
While interventions by social welfare and education authorities continue, the story of Avokope reveals a deeper crisis, one rooted in poverty, ignorance, and limited access to quality education. Until stronger community sensitization, social support, and enforcement of child protection laws reach these isolated areas, the cycle of exploitation on the Refram may continue to drown the dreams of many children who deserve a better future. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Avokope, Eastern Region.
Now let's go to very good news that we here at Media General are celebrating, and congratulations to all the gentlemen and ladies who've been called to the Ghana Bar. We have 2 of them here with us. Now, Media General was not left out of the celebration of legal brains at the 2025 call to the bar ceremony. 2 staff members, Sixtus Dong Ulo and Joseph Akablé, joined the over 800 others to be called to the bar at Accra International Conference Center earlier today. There is more on this report.
10 years. That's how long Sixtus Dong Ulo had to wait to have his name etched in the book of the Ghana Bar.
If it's taking you long, maybe you should just look at my story and know that you can always get it done. It's up to you deciding that this is what must happen.
The father of 3 did not let his predicament deter him.
My late father had always shared this dream with me. Maybe the inspiration came from him to become a lawyer. And I had always prayed that he will see me. In fact, we had talked about he watching me in court. Unfortunately, he's passed. He's not even here to see this day, to talk about seeing me in court. But I believe that we share the joy with my mom, with the rest of my family, and the people who believed in me.
For Joseph Akablé, the opportunity to join the long list of legal professionals in his family is one to relish.
I mean, it's been a childhood dream for a while now, so it's taken long, but it's finally here, and I look forward into the future with a lot of hope. I think it requires a lot of hard work, basically, and hours and hours of reading and everything. So that has been the challenge always, but God has been kind and merciful and ensured that everything went on smoothly.
The Media General duo hope to use their added expertise to improve their work as communicators and content generators to serve the country and the society at large.
Well, congratulations to Sixtus and Joseph and to all our new lawyers. There's an advice for them, though. Do not seek to know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Instead, be lawyers who stand for the voiceless. These were the words of Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni as he welcomed 824 new lawyers to the Ghana Bar. Court correspondent Lord Idwasari was at the ceremony and filed this report.
This year's call to the bar drew persons with diverse backgrounds into the foray with 6 persons with disabilities, 5 journalists, a Chinese national, and a paramount chief receiving their certificate to practice in the country. Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni, while welcoming the 824 new lawyers, emphasized the need to help nip in the bud the growing trend of using the legal profession as a money-making venture.
Investing in forming and grooming a lawyer is an investment for a generation. So I urge you all to resist the temptation to, as we say, cut corners. The hunger to get rich quick may come, but remember that when every other actor fails the nation, the lawyer must be the one who stands upright to restore hope.
Justice Bafoboni also implored the General Legal Council to rise to the new dawn of reforms, which will open up the legal education, resulting in more lawyers joining the fraternity.
Already thick with debates on the need for reforms, as hope and frustration for the aspiring lawyer intermingle in equal measure. The Ghana School of Law, under the guidance of the General Legal Council, and in partnership with all stakeholders, must therefore stand ready to rise to this new dawn. We must, however, ensure that the reforms we seek do not merely expand the numbers, but truly refine the very purpose of legal education and the legal profession of Ghana in the 21st century.
There was a moment of pride for former Member of Parliament for Sagnarigu, Al-Hassan Bashir Hussaini, whose daughter swept the awards for the overall best student.
Take a rest. He said, Daddy, no, I don't feel I'm satisfied where I want to get to. She's still on it, and for me, I can say that she's not only done us proud, she's done the whole of the northern region, the whole of Dagbon, the whole of Ghana proud. And this is not her end. I believe that she still has some way to go. And whatever assistance we can lend to her to continue to make us proud, I think that, and for women, it tells you that those of us who are Muslims especially, that we should encourage our girl child to go to the highest that they can aspire to.
Latifa Teya Hussaini was overwhelmed with joy.
I'm very confused too, but I think it's just hard work and prayers. So much. They helped me so much. They're very understanding. Anything I wanted, they provided. So I'm so happy. I'm grateful to them.
Other new lawyers share their sentiments after being called.
To read law is good. I would say that everybody can do it. But before you can do that, then you must have a strong mindset. You must have the right attitude. And then your effort must be limitless.
It's been a very, very stressful period, last couple of years, but we are here.
I recall, times you need to retake a paper and you have to mobilize yourself, re-strategize and get it done. The most important, keep your eyes on the ball and make sure that at every point in time you are improving, changing the style of answering questions, more important, the approved ways in order to go through. But never be discouraged.
The 62nd call to the bar ceremony, which was held at the Accra International Conference Center, also saw a notable presence of journalists and media professionals among the new lawyers. Lodi Rasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's shift our attention to another major national conversation, which is illegal mining. The Attorney General is currently prosecuting about 1,500 cases of illegal mining following a series of arrests made by the National Anti-Galamsey Mining Operations Secretariat this year. With steps ongoing to set up special courts to decide these cases, government says it is aggressively dealing with the menace head-on. There is more in this report by Christian Yali.
The arrests include 28 persons who were illegally mining in the Cape 3 Point Forest Reserve, with several mining equipment seized and confiscated across the western region. Government says the operations of the Blue Water Guards and the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat are being intensified with a possible legislation to fast-track Galamsey cases.
The law is the law, and if you break the law, there will be consequences. We're talking close to 1,500 arrests over the period, and the Attorney General is working on prosecutions. This week in Cabinet, there was a bill that was laid for special tribunal courts for specialized cases, and you can bet that illegal mining is going to be one of them. So in the coming days, when Parliament resumes, we're going to see that bill laid, and we're going to see faster prosecutions for illegal mining cases.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources says it is prioritizing stakeholder engagement with detailed plans to sustain the fight. These kinds of engagement are going to be done almost every week, to ensure that the public is well abreast of the issues. They are going to ensure that over 400 personnel from NIMOS are deployed to all of these security zones as well as the hotspot to prevent other galamseyers from going to these sites.
Water bodies had been declared security zones. Currently, we have about 400 trained personnel from the NIMOS team, and based off that conversation, we are deploying all 400 of them to these security zones. They have been categorized into 21 hotspots nationwide, and the teams are currently deployment is ongoing. The teams are going to be kept there permanently. And so we are not having a case where they go into the forest, they clear them, or they go on the water bodies, they clear them, and the miners have an opportunity to go back.
A special hotline has been set up to receive complaints from members of the public on galamsey activities in their neighborhoods. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
And now over 100 structures at the Dakuman market in Accra have been demolished to pave way for the construction of a modern 24-hour market. Joseph Armstrong Goldalugbe reports that while residents and local leaders support the exercise, they are demanding that the Assembly fulfills its promise to build the new market within the shortest possible time.
The demolition exercise began at dawn and saw more than 100 wooden structures and kiosks put down. Excavators moved through the area. Structures crumbled to the ground. The most affected section was the old Dakuman market, which in recent years had been converted into a residential area. Residents watch on as the only public toilet serving the community is also put down. Municipal engineer for the Blakuma North Assembly says the move is part of plans to clear the area for the construction of a modern 24-hour market complex.
Procurement process for the building of the market has started. So it is a process. So we are not stopping till we execute the project. So the procurement process is ongoing.
It's ongoing?
Yes.
Tell us about other demolitions you plan to do in the near future.
In fact, there are various. For instance, when you go to the Pambros area, there are structures within the wet area that are supposed to be demolished. So it is also part of our plans.
Youth leaders in the community have welcomed the exercise, but say they will keep pressure on the Assembly to deliver on its promise.
We've been looking forward for this thing for a long time, not today. So alhamdulillah, I think today is one of the happiest days for us in Dakuma. If you come here in the night, what you come and see here is not good.
The problem is when they make it, they're supposed to make something. They're not supposed to leave it like that. Maybe they demolish this place. They can leave it about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years before they make it.
The municipal chief executive, Musa Kalimu, assured residents that construction of the new market will begin before the end of the year.
The monies are in our accounts. The president took a very bold decision for the first time to release about over 80% of the common fund to the municipal assemblies directly to be in charge of supervising their own construction. Is unprecedented. So we cannot just fail the president, we cannot fail the people of Ghana.
Residents here say while they support the redevelopment project, they expect the assembly to follow through quickly to avoid prolonged disruption of their livelihoods. Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Dakuman, Accra.
Well, let's do politics now. The New Patriotic Party has been busy over the last few days. Now, a member of the party's Presidential Election Committee, Barbara Benisa, has called on party members to prioritize peace and unity as the NPP approaches its presidential primary. She made the appeal during the balloting process for positions on the ballot paper, emphasizing the importance of maintaining party harmony ahead of the crucial elections.
Representatives of the various aspirants were in attendance for the balloting process. The ballot was supervised by the New Patriotic Party's National Elections Committee in line with the internal electoral guidelines outlined on July 29th. All 5 flag-bearer hopefuls took part in the balloting.
Honorable Ken Ohene Ejapon will be number 1 or the first candidate on the ballot paper. Honorable Dr. Brian Echampo, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be number 3 on the ballot paper. Honorable Dr. Yao Asiedu-Dartey will be number 4 on the ballot paper. And Engineer Kwabena Ejapon will be number 5 on the ballot paper.
A member of the NPP's Presidential Election Committee, Ambassador Barbara Benisa, urged party members to unite.
All NPP needs is unity. Let's come together, work together, listen to each other, and be each other's keeper. That's what we need now. Without that, we can't be anywhere.
Representatives of some of the candidates emphasized that the ballot position is less important than the key messages their candidate will convey to delegates.
We are okay with any position that we get. I have gone for tons of elections. I've found myself on different places on the ballot. MPP itself has gone through several elections. We've been on all kinds of positions. And these same set of aspirants, they've had elections before, they've all been at different positions on the ballot paper. So I don't think the balloting process is really something we have to make a fetish out of.
We are looking for somebody who can unite the front. And those within the realm of understanding numbers will tell you that anybody who holds that number 4 tells you the pillar that all the other candidates or other people will want to revolve around. And that is why the significant 4 is of vital importance to the camp of Dr. Yao Asiedu-Dartey.
We picked number 5 so that on the ballot paper we appear on the number 5 position. The next step is to continue with his countrywide tour and campaign to be elected as the flag bearer of the party.
I'm here for Honorable Kennedy Akompreko Japan. I picked 1 for my boss. And for me, the number 1 is number 1. And that means that he's going to be the presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party.
Presenting Dr. Brian Champo. And we just finished and the number game is there. We were number 2 and I don't think it will do anything. I've seen people using Asiedu number 1, but I've been here. I'm not new to this business. I was here the last time with Honorable Kennedy Japan. We picked number 1. We didn't win.
The New Patriotic Party NPP will, on January 31st, 2026, hold its presidential primary to elect a flag bearer for the 2028 election.
How powerful is the human mind? That's the question driving the True Life Experience 2025, officially unveiled to help people discover and unleash their inner potential.
Organized under the theme, The Power of the Mind, the True Life Experience 2025 aims to inspire, empower, and transform individuals through thought-provoking discussions and experiences that challenge perspectives and unlock human potential. The review, which is the launch of the event, outlined the vision, expectations, and opportunities of the True Life Experience 2025 while creating a platform for networking and collaboration among key stakeholders. The main True Life Experience 2025 conference is scheduled for November 20th to 21st, 2025 at the Kempinski Hotel, Accra. It promises to bring together leaders, innovators, and changemakers for 2 days of deep reflection and practical transformation around the power and potential of the human mind. Convener of the True Life Experience 2025, Dedo Kofi, spoke about the vision behind the program.
So the vision behind True Life is that we want to see people explore their full potential. And so that's actually basically, fundamentally what True Life is about, to inspire, to empower, and to transform.
She also shared what inspired the theme.
This is our flagship conference. And so I thought to start with the mind, because the mind is like an engine, and how we train it is how it will perform. I made a reference to, if you're holding a stone, a glass stone, and but it's actually not a glass stone, it's a diamond, but you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. You're holding millions in your hands, but you don't know. And it's how our minds are. If we don't know what we're capable of, we would never explore it.
Ticket can be bought on the website at experience@thetruelifeworld.com.
Well, you're still watching News 360 on TV3, and if you look at the bottom right side of your screen, you see a QR code there, and we want you to be interacting with us on a regular. So just pick up your phone and scan the QR code on your screen. In fact, let's enlarge it for you. Bam, there it is. Take part in the EN Analytics National Poll, a nationwide survey on governance, political leadership, and key national issues shaping Ghana's future. Your voice matters. Your feedback drives data-driven insights for better governance. So scan the link on your screen and fill out the questionnaire so that we can get to know what you're thinking and what your suggestions are in shaping the national discourse.
Right, stay with us here on News 360. We have business news coming up next. facility program. He maintains that the government's prudent management and sustained economic reforms are driving growth, reducing inflation and stabilizing the city.
Finance Minister Dr. Ayisha says the government's strict adherence to fiscal discipline has been central to Ghana's economic recovery following the announcement of a staff-level agreement with the International Monetary Fund on the fifth review of the country's $3 billion program. According to the minister, Ghana met all 6 quantitative performance criteria and 4 indicative targets for the review period, proof, he says, of the disciplined and comprehensive reforms pursued under President Mahama's reset agenda. Dr. Forson highlighted strong gains in the non-oil sectors where job creation is rising, alongside sharp declines in inflation and interest rates. The Ghana cedi, he added, continues to show resilience, while fiscal consolidation has resulted in a budget surplus and a marked reduction in public debt. The finance minister also confirmed significant progress in bilateral debt restructuring efforts and expressed optimism that all outstanding agreements will be concluded before the end of the IMF program. Once approved by the IMF Executive Board in December, the fifth review will unlock about $385 million, bringing total disbursements to $2.6 billion.
And now, government statistician Dr. Alhassan Idrisu is calling for urgent investment in agricultural infrastructure to sustain Ghana's recent gains in controlling food inflation. His comments follow new data from his outfit showing that inflation dropped to 9.4% in September, the first time in 4 years that the country's overall inflation rate has fallen into single digits.
We should invest in irrigation to smooth seasons, support year-round production, and mitigate the impact of rainfall risks for staples like yam, cassava, and rice and vegetables. Because some seeing very low inflation rates, but there are also others that are seeing high inflation rates. Food storage has been an issue for some time now, and we have to deal with it. We have to ensure that we deal with cold chains and even dry storage. We have to address that. There's no point in producing a lot of food and then just because of 1 or 2 issues, you're not able to store them and then they go bad. So we have to invest in food storage issues to cut post-harvest losses for perishable items like tomatoes, garden eggs, pepper, okra, onions, as well as guarantee smooth supply. What we need to also do is to ensure that we invest in reliable transport networks, because that has been an issue. Sometimes we see these food prices going up, not because their original prices are high, but because when we transport them from areas of surplus to areas of deficit, the distribution cost is so high that they make the price high.
Away from that, many small businesses in Ghana continue to struggle to meet required product standards, limiting their ability to compete in both local and export markets. Chief Executive of Go Compliance Solutions, James Ofori, believes collaboration with state agencies could make it easier for small enterprises to understand and meet quality benchmarks, especially as research from the Ghana Standards Authority shows that nearly 70% of local products fall short of international certification requirements.
A lot of work is required in that agribusiness sector. So yes, we will improve, but it depends on the government's commitment as well. We will only look at maybe future partnerships with some state agencies who are into standardization, so that we can roll out some kind of campaigns and see how we can support some of these local businesses. We do it in our own small way, but hopefully we are looking at on a bigger scale where we can work with some of these institutions in a form of partnership or some collaboration, and then we can serve our people better.
We'll now end the segment with updates from the forex and commodities markets. I am Minu Afo.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Shen. Now, Midiama have climbed to the top of the Ghana Premier League table following their 2-1 victory over Dreams FC on Friday evening. The Morven Yellows earned 3 points thanks to a strike from Abdul Salam and an own goal. Christian Owusu found the net for Dreams FC. Midiama have now accumulated 12 points, whilst Dreams are 17th on the log with just 1 point. Now, Kotoko can climb to the top 3 of the Ghana Premier League table if they defeat Nations FC in what will be an Ashanti regional derby. Here are coaches Karim Zito and Kasim Mengo speaking ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we are doing our normal preparation that we do for all matches. You know, playing every match, we lose 3 points. So, but we will intensify training a little because it's Kotoko. Don't Kotoko. You can't dispute about my team. So, we are on it. The way they play, if they go in the match like that, I hope it will be good for us. Tell them they should pray and come and support the team. We just started the league. It's a marathon. We have 34 matches to play. So they should come and support and keep on supporting. But at the end, the league, wherever they want us to be, inshallah, we'll be there.
The club itself set that target. Kotoko doesn't deserve even second. What Kotoko deserves is to win the league. You understand me? So we've set the target for ourselves that we should win the league this year. And that is what we are chasing now. As a you have to always aim at something so that it will propel you to work towards that issue. So the target we set for ourselves is how we are fighting to achieve it. So the supporters, I know.
Now, ahead of the Black Stars game against the Comoros, Anthony Bafo, who is the founder and general secretary of the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, believes the team is stacked with talents. The former footballer believes the country has enough talents to compete at the global stage.
Absolutely. Ghana has a lot of talent. And back in the days, they came to the inter-school system, which they are reviving. I also work for the FIFA, the talent development scheme. It's an Arsene Wenger project. The FA has subscribed to that, and they're doing a lot of projects. So it is very, very important. If you build a house and you don't have a foundation, there will be a problem with the house. But now we have come back to the drawing board. We are taking from grassroots, and players like Kudus, Kamaldeen, Salisu, Alidu, and many others are very, very important. But I know that let's talk about sometimes also about those who were born abroad, like Jiko. He's a warrior. Yeah, he gives everything. But summa summarum, I think there's a lot of talent in the team, and they have to continue being closely together, and then we see what the next steps are. But first of all, let us seal the qualification to go to the World Cup, to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Good luck, guys.
That was Tony Bafo speaking. Now, Nigeria defeated Lesotho by 2-1 in Polokwane on Friday, and South Africa were held to a scoreless draw by Zimbabwe in Durban, while Benin Republic pipped host Rwanda by 1-0 in Kigali. All three teams retained their position when they were in Group C before kickoff of their matches, but third-placed Nigeria have 14 points, and they will host table toppers Benin Republic in Uyo on Tuesday, while South Africa have their work cut out against Rwanda. A win against the Cheetahs of the Benin Republic in Uyo on Tuesday and failure by South Africa to defeat Rwanda will see the Super Eagles top the group and qualify automatically to the 2026 World Cup final. Now, Nigerian Football Administrator Ayodeji Adebenro notes that even though Nigeria has a realistic chance, the task will be a difficult one.
Lesotho won Nigeria 2 in Polokwane, South Africa. Nigeria getting all 3 points, which is the minimum that was required of the Super Eagles before the game. Thankfully, they delivered. Some nervy moments in the dying moments, particularly from goalkeeper Stanley Wabali. Hopefully that is corrected. And from results from the other group games, South Africa failing to beat Zimbabwe and Benin Republic surprisingly, not really surprisingly, beating Rwanda in Kigali. So from a Nigerian perspective, hope is still alive, a glimmer of hope going into the final day. But now this is where the permutations come in. We need to beat Benin by at least 2 goals and hope that South Africa doesn't beat Rwanda on Tuesday. So that is the only way we qualify.
That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Oshen.
Lifestyle and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Entertainment News segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, a master of the djembe drum, Widi Brima, has emphasized the importance of valuing the rich culture and folklore of African continent. Now, according to him, African music and cultural elements are powerful expressions of identity and they define who we are. Now, Weedy is currently in Ghana alongside 9-time Grammy Award winner Wynton Marsalis, and in what is being described as a historic visit. Weedy Brima has spent over 30 years as a performer, teacher and preservationist of African culture, and he continues to explore new musical crossovers every day. Born in Ghana, where he was first introduced to West African culture and drumming, Brima later settled in East St. Louis, a deep professional exploration of cultural music of the African diaspora. According to him, African music and cultural elements are powerful expressions of identity. They define who we are.
I'm using who I am to define what I am. So to travel the world as a Jimbe Fola is very special to me because it shows the importance of what Africa has and our folklore and our culture, and it's rich, and how we're able to implement that in anything that we do, whether it's in our art, whether it's our music, whether it's our food, our trajectory of how we see science, math, or whatever it may be. But it's important that we maintain that. But performing here in Ghana, because I'm a Ghanaian, because of my father and my family, and because of its rich tradition, nothing can beat that.
Weedy is currently back in Ghana, this time alongside 9-time Grammy Award winner Wynton Marsalis, in what many are calling a historic visit. Their trip shines a spotlight on the importance of music education and mentorship in nurturing young talent and strengthening Ghana's creative ecosystem.
And it's a tradition I know about. And the jazz musicians always have been attracted to Ghana. The great Jackie McLean wrote a piece in the early 60s called Appointment in Ghana. So we come like we came with Yakubu, with love and feeling, and we know we have a lot of commonality that we want people to experience on a high level.
And now we bring you some arts and entertainment tidbits from the world of showbiz. The Musicians Union of Ghana, MUSIGA, met with UNESCO's country representative, Mr. Edmond Mukala, to discuss the proposed inclusion of Ghana's high life music on UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage, expected in December 2025. The recognition aims to boost High Life's global presence and create economic opportunities for Ghanaian musicians. The meeting included key MUSIGA and UNESCO officials, as well as producers of the upcoming She Rhythms Ghana Festival, which will celebrate women's contributions to music. Both MUSIGA and UNESCO emphasize the cultural and economic significance of the initiative. DJ Tim Westwood, 68, has been charged with 15 sexual offenses, including 4 counts of rape, 9 of indecent assault, and 2 of sexual assault. The charges involve 7 women and span incidents from 1983 to 2016.
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
He is due to appear at Westminster Magistrate Court on November 10. The Metropolitan Police continue to investigate and encourage others with information to come forward. The CPS has authorized the charges, but notes that this does not indicate guilt and the case will proceed through the legal system.
Girl, me just want fit, oh yeah, put me things right around.
And that's how we wrap up on the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
Now let's bring you international news.
Burkina Faso's military government has refused to take in deportees from the U.S. as Washington suspended issuing visas in the country. Instead, residents of Burkina Faso will have to travel to the U.S. Embassy in the capital of neighboring Togo. Minister of Foreign Affairs questioned if the embassy's decision was blackmail after he said he had rejected an American proposal to take in migrants from third countries. Donald Trump's administration has turned to African countries as a destination to deport migrants as part of his crackdown on immigration. Thousands of Palestinians have begun returning to Gaza's north as Israeli Prime Minister thanks Donald Trump for securing a ceasefire. Those returning to Gaza City say they are driven by desperation rather than confidence that it is safe. It comes as forces have pulled back to the lines agreed under Trump's plan. The IDF says it will continue to remove any immediate threat. Hamas has until 12 o'clock local time on Monday to release all Israeli hostages, while Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian detainees.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I'm Ayisha Yakubu. Showbiz 360 is up next with Giovanni Caleb. Stay tuned.